What's going on, everyone? MikeO back with a card show recap video. This is some stuff I acquired at a card show last weekend. Been super busy, so I'm a little behind on showcasing off some of the highlights. Now, I bought a ton of stuff. This is a very small part of what I got. A lot of stuff I bought for the eBay store and such, but also a lot of smaller cards I got for myself for the collection. And I do know Ed, my buddy Wesker Griff here on YouTube, also put up a video. So if you want to check that out over on his channel, he did a show recap. I was lucky enough to run into him for a little bit on Friday morning. Show was really good. It's a 3-day show, mall show in Neshaminy, Pennsylvania, and I was only able to get there Friday and Friday morning for a couple hours. But a lot of really good dealers. A couple of the dealers I really like weren't able to make it, so they weren't there. But a couple of other dealers that are awesome that I love to see were also there. So they always have a ton of stuff. A lot of boxes you can go through. I mean, you can easily spend hours and hours there. And a lot of other cool stuff to see. Pretty decent variety overall to show. A little bit of pre-war. Definitely a good amount of vintage for a mall show. And a lot of new stuff as well. A little bit of sealed stuff, a lot of bargain stuff, some high price stuff too, even some non-sports and such. So again, here's a little look at some stuff I picked up. So let's get into it. First up, here's just a best set, minor league set from, I guess it's 1997, and picked that up, as you can see, for the Jimmy Rollins. I mean, that's an awesome card. That'd be cool to get holdered up maybe. Most of the others, honestly, I'm probably just going to list it on eBay. You never know. I mean, there's not a lot of demand for these guys, but there's also no competition. So some of this type of stuff will move. Sometimes it's just stuff that doesn't... The guys who don't make the big league club don't do a lot for me. I know coming up there'll be a Carlos Silva. I might keep that one. He was with the Phillies a number of years. He was pretty solid with the Phils and then ended up... in a trade to Minnesota for Eric Milton, I believe, and had some success there over the years as well. You know, a solid big leaguer. I don't think that any of the rest of these guys ever made the big leagues, but, I mean, well worth it just for the Jimmy Rollins. So, cool set. Again, minor league cards aren't crazy rare, but they're not easy to find either, especially when you get, an all-time franchise icon, a borderline potential future Hall of Fame type of guy. Rollins definitely has a shot. Regardless, he'll be a Phillies Wall of Famer. And overall, that's all that really matters there. So, super happy to pick that up. Here's just one of the cheap cards I happen to pull out. I have stacks of other stuff that just kind of got lost in the shuffle, but just a beautiful card. 1950s Decades Best. This is an insert set that Topps did a few years ago. That looks like in 2020. Cool set. I mean, I really like that set a lot. It's a big set, but a lot of cool cards like this. So the 1950s Phillies, the Whiz Kids. So just, not an expensive card, but neat. The rest of the stuff's kind of showcase type of stuff. Alec Boehm. I was actually there at the show with my dad, who you guys, if you saw my last video, you saw on the SGC reveal. Appreciate all the kind words on that video. He loves, when he's at the show, for some reason, certain Phillies guys, and he always looks at the Alec Boehms and asks me about him. I like Boehm. He's obviously a good player. Looks like he'll be an all-star this year. I personally wouldn't invest, a ton of money into him. I mean, I already have a few in the collection. I certainly want him in the PC, but wouldn't go crazy. But the dealer who had these is usually, he's really, really fairly priced and always very willing to work, so... It's one of those deals, if you see anything of interest, you just kind of stack it up, and usually it works out to where it's kind of a situation where he's moving a lot of stuff, and you can't argue with the price at all either. So here's an Alec Boehm from 5 Star, which is obviously a beautiful set. Now, I don't love the fact that it's the green parallel. I mean, it doesn't kill me or anything, but I'd prefer a red or, a different color. That's numbered to 15, but... Overall, I mean, he had it marked at 60. I'm sure after working out a deal, honestly, probably didn't pay more than $35 for this card. I don't know what it goes for. I'd assume his stuff would be up a little bit because of how well he's played this year, but also he was in so many products, and there's probably so many available that I'm sure his prices haven't risen very much, but I haven't looked into them. So nice autograph of Alec Boehm there. Here's a 1969 Hank Aaron. Overall, not terrible condition. I mean, obviously the corners aren't going to be perfect, little issues, but definitely some centering issues. But again, there's certain players you run into, and if they're fairly priced, I'll never turn them down. I'll always look into possibly acquiring them. Mickey Mantle, Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, rest in peace, Willie. Those type of guys, Roberto Clemente. I mean, first of all, happy to always have them in my collection. I mean, I already have one of these, but I mean, I just feel like it's never bad to pick one up. So that's cool. A couple Mike Schmidt pickups. I mean, this is just a beautiful set. The SP Signature Edition. Beautiful card there. I think that's from 1999, if I remember right. Somewhere back there. Oh, well, I give up. But a beautiful looking set. Love the images on them. Again, Mike Schmidt, Hall of Famer. Greatest third baseman of all time. And then here's another SP Legendary Cuts. Wow. That's serial numbered out of 50. It's got the red. I just think that one looks good. So cool. These Schmidts were like late editions. Like I was already had stuff picked out, and then I kind of asked him about them, and we ended up including them in the deal. I mean, that's a beautiful Schmidt there. And then a Cole Hamels, who is retiring this week. Retiring as a Philadelphia Philly, which, I don't know, the retiring as a member of an organization to me has always been kind of silly to a degree. Like, you're retiring unless you're going out and playing in the game. Kind of who cares? A shame Hamels didn't stay healthy. He's a guy who honestly was in line for 3,000 strikeouts in his career, and then he just really didn't pitch the last 4 or 5 years of his career. And the thing is, I'm pretty sure if he stayed healthy, he would have hit and surpassed the 3,000 strikeout threshold, because he's one of those guys who said he wanted to pitch for a while. I remember him talking. He said maybe not as long as Jamie Moyer, but wanted to pitch into his 40s, and then mid to late 30s just unfortunately lost it. Had a injury plagued, I think, last half season with the Cubs, then signed with the Braves. I've only pitched like one inning for the Braves or something. Ended up signing with the Dodgers and with San Diego. Never appeared in games with those teams. So, kind of a shame. It would have been neat if he was still going and, you had a 41-year-old Cole Hamels maybe added to this Phillies roster for the stretch run or something. But beautiful card. I mean, these Turkey Reds, honestly, they look way better in person than on camera. You're seeing some of the shine. But, Hamels had a fabulous career. Again, all-time type of Philly guy. Definitely a top 10 starter in Phillies history and magical moments, World Series MVP and such. So definitely an all-time Phillies player, so it fits perfectly into the collection. It's another Phillies Wall of Famer, Darren Daulton. Actually picked up 2 of these from Topps Retired. I actually kind of would love for them to bring this set back. One is encased and one is not. But these chrome Topps Retired autos are just super cool. They look great. Black borders. On-card signatures. This one, just a great image that you don't see all the time. You don't even see it crazy amount. Obviously, the old cards, you'll see Darren Daulton in the powder blues, like 85s. But he didn't play a lot in the powder blues. They kind of transitioned out of the blues and into the gray roads, and then obviously into the modern day new uniform. But awesome card there. So happy to add the Dutch Daulton. Chuck Bednarik, he's like one of the few vintage football players I collect. Really one of the few Eagles I collect. Met him as a kid and stuff. Hall of Famer. Just neat guy. So again, I don't go crazy searching for his stuff, but if I run into it, I'll always listen and look into. So nice Chuck Bednarik auto. Here's another Cole Hamels. I know Ed was looking at this. Just at least mentioning the set. Ed bought a lot of really cool stuff, which again you can see on his channel. But this is from 2007 Upper Deck Black Baseball. Love that shine there. Signature Pops, 35 of 50, so it's jersey number, which it is mentioned there. So to me, just a great card. Like, can't go wrong with that. And I think this is the last Phillies card, a Jimmy Rollins auto. There were a few other really cool Rollins, a couple that I already had. Another one, there was a 2007, or it might have been 2008, I forget. One of the 07 or 08 autographs. I think it was 2008, and it was honoring the 2007 MVP season Rollins had. Super cool card, just tough one to find, and it was priced pretty fairly. But this is just a beautiful. I love when they do the white for the autos. The blue autos just pop in an incredible way with that. I mean, paper autographs can look great. I know everything's on chrome and all that stuff now, but so that's cool. It's from 2002 Topps Baseball. Beautiful autograph there of Jimmy Rollins. And then last few, these are eventual sale types of cards, but had to pick them up. I just love Finest Flashbacks. So got a 2023 Finest Flashbacks Ohtani, and that is the rare, which is the gold. They're just tiered. You have the bronze, which is the common numbers. Then you have the silver, which is the uncommon, and then the gold is rare. Basically, these were one per box. Flashbacks, cool product, generally speaking, but as the years have gone on, the value has dropped in terms of opening because the price has just steadily risen. I mean, I think this past year they were like 6 times more expensive than they were when they initially came out in 2020, and you get less in them. You get like one refractor and you got one gold. And it's not even a parallel. It's just basically a semi-SP type of card. But, of course, Ohtani can't go wrong. This is a Mint 9 of Roberto Clemente. Again, Hall of Famer. All-time great. So pick that up. And then a gold refractor of Derek Jeter. That was a Gem Mint 10 on that one, too. So add a few PSAs, and these are ones when I do pop them up on the eBay store. Like, I like the cards enough that they're not like quick flip types of cards. They're put up at a price that, you know, if they move, they move, and if they don't, I certainly don't mind having them. I'm always looking to add some of the Phillies to the collection, but haven't added a ton from last year's set. So those are some of the pickups from my most recent card show that I've attended, possibly the last show before the National. There's probably some other local small shows, and I'm certainly not opposed to going any of them, but it's going to be a very busy few weeks. I mean, before you know it, the National will be here. I'm very busy this weekend, and we're only a few weeks away from the 4th of July, and, you know, then the National is really a week earlier this year, I believe. I think it's, the 23rd to 30th? It's usually overlaps late July into August, so who knows? But I'll be back with a mail day coming soon and some breaks and stuff like that. So appreciate you guys watching. Comment below. Let me know what you think of the pickups from the local card show, and I will talk to you next time. Have a great one.